Welcome. I am Mr. X, and I will be your companion during the virtual journey. In your practice, you also use NOAC, among which Xarelto is one of the market-leading agents, which has provided evidence across a wide spectrum of patients in the past few years. The number of indications and market share demonstrate confidence with the use of this brand. Now we will show you that the efficacy and safety profile of Xarelto have not only been proven in clinical studies, but also in the real world. Follow me. Let's start right away with this evidence. I prepared it. I hope you like it. The Phase 3 trial of Xarelto Rocket AF enrolled the high proportion of patients with a high risk of stroke. 87% of patients had a CHATIS score of 3 or higher. Prior stroke and TIA patients' rate was also 52%. This seems to be quite high. Next evidence is over here on this wall. In this study, Xarelto proved to be as effective as warfarin. During the on-treatment period, Xarelto showed a reduction in the risk of stroke and systemic embolism. According to the safety on-treatment analysis in this study, the relative risk of stroke and SE decreased by 21% compared to warfarin. Decreased significantly the incidence of critical organ bleeding, intracranial bleeding, and fatal bleeding, even in challenging atrial fibrillation patients with a high risk of stroke and bleeding. Xarelto has well-balanced efficacy and safety profile. Rocket AF trial demonstrate the efficacy and safety profile of Xarelto in patients with a high risk of stroke. But how reliable is it in routine clinical practice? Results from the real world provide the answer to this question. For this, we have to step out to the real world. Let's go to prepare before we explore the real world. Xantus was the first published prospective, international observational study with Xarelto in patients with atrial fibrillation. The study involved more than 6,500 AF patients treated with Xarelto. The study results confirmed the favorable efficacy and safety profile of Xarelto in the real-world setting. The evidence of major bleeding was 2.1%. Which is similarly low as in Rocket AF. Safety is accompanied by convincing efficacy. The incidence of stroke and systemic embolism was 0.8%, which is similarly low as in Rocket AF. Wow! Xarelto shows well-established efficacy and safety in clinical trials, reaffirmed in the real world. Now it's time to explore the real world. Please step inside the elevator. Now we are on the top floor. Please take a look outside. Isn't it so beautiful? Oh, do you see that astronaut working outside the ship? Let's wave at him. How nice. He's waving back at us. Wait. Something doesn't seem right. Oh, I don't think the astronaut's waving at us. He is asking for help. He is being drifted away from the ship. We need to send him the Lifeline right now. There, the Lifeline's being delivered to the astronaut safely. Wow, that was a close shave. As the astronaut faced difficulties during his duty, You might also have found yourself in challenging situations with your patients receiving anticoagulant therapy. As the Lifeline represents reliable confidence for the astronauts, Xarelto represents consistent confidence for you and your patients. An interesting analogy, isn't it? I will surely remember this. Now I believe the time has come for us to say goodbye. Xarelto is one of the market-leading NOACs in the anticoagulant market worldwide. Rely on clinical study results and real-world experiences when choosing anticoagulants for your AF patients. Xarelto is the most prescribed novel OAC in the world in the first quarter of 2015. Treat your patients with confidence. Start Xarelto with confidence. Thank you.